So it's Helston Athletic 0, Ashton and Backwell 2. I've got the Helston manager here. What are your thoughts on the game today?
Yeah, really frustrating afternoon for us. At one stage I thought this game's going to be heading for a draw. Neither side really looking like they were going to create anything of any worth. And then to take the lead, on the replay you'll probably see it. I thought it was a cross at first. We had one last week. That's the cross that's like dipped in, and it certainly looked like that. For their opening goal, it looked like the guys shaped up to cross. It sort of dipped in over the car and gone in. And at that point, I thought, could be up against it here because we hadn't really created enough on the day, and our quality was poor all over really, and we've just addressed that in the changing room. I said to them, I don't want anyone walking away from here today feeling like they've done okay because they've set nowhere near or met nowhere near the levels and standards that we've set recently. So and then at 1-0, the second goal was a good goal for them. The lads cut in from the left-hand side and shot again from outside the area. And again, we should have done better than that. We should have defended that a lot better. That was a concentration issue for us. And so that 2-0, we're really up against it. Not really created anywhere near enough, like we have done sort of recently. And just one of those days, unfortunately.
So what did you say to the players in the changing room?
Obviously I won't go into it, but I've let them know that those standards are not acceptable, and that you can't go from one game to the next thinking that 3 or 4 of us could be at it today and we'll be all right, because you won't be. You need 7 or 8 at it every single week in order to be consistent, in order to be successful. So I've just reminded them of that certainly not good enough to be rocking up thinking that off the back of a 4-2 win last week that we can some of us might be at it today and we'll be all right. No, we won't be. Okay, we'll get unstuck, and that's what happened here. And they took their moments when it came along, and you can see how much it meant to them. Even after the first goal, with their huge celebrations and at the end and in their changing room and stuff. And I made sure that the players sat and listened to that as well. Because
you mentioned last week about the importance of consistency. Is it a case of attitude? Is it a case of...
No, it's not attitude, because if there was an attitude problem, we'd address it. But, what I can say is that the lads do train well and they train hard, and we get good numbers at training as well. So I can't fault them for that. And as I said to them, when we check all the data and stuff with the running stats, I bet that's not down. It hasn't been in recent weeks. But I think today the issue was quality. And that concentration. So when we're building play, when we're trying to create in the final third, that final pass, that final cross, things getting cut out, people trying to play sort of like crossfield passes that are getting cut out, those kinds of things that would normally go for you on a more slicker surface as well. That played a part a little bit. It was dry, it was bumpy, same for both sides. But I think that negated how we like to build it a little bit. But certainly no excuse. And we just had too many that were off it today.
And no Josh Story today? No captain?
No, Josh was unavailable today.
Okay. So looking forward, what next week? Away to Ilfracombe?
Yeah, and I said that to him. I said, listen, we've got a real tough February coming up. We've got to play Ilfracombe a couple of times. We've got Bridgewater. So we've got some real tough games coming up, and that's where we're going to need to show some character to bounce back from this.
And what will we be doing between now and Ilfracombe then?
Well, I expect them. I said that make sure that you're at it on Wednesday, because it's going to be tough, and it's important that not as some sort of punishment, but we work them hard anyway. But they've got to expect that we didn't hit those standards today, and just keep themselves accountable to the standards that we've set. So. That's what we're doing. They're hurting in there. There's no one sat in there sort of. They're all within their demeanour. They're sort of like head in their hands a little bit. Do you know what I mean? So they're upset, and we've just got to try and pick them up again, which we'll do between now and Wednesday. And we've got to try and build that consistency. And as I said to them, we are where we are in the league because we've been too inconsistent. And that's why probably we are where we are in the cups, because we could beat anyone on our day. But in terms of getting where we need to get to, we need to show much more consistency in the league, and that's why you need 7s and 8s at it every single week, in order to make that happen.
Is that basically it? Just getting 7 or 8 players on form each game, and that will build consistency.
That's what the top teams do. And that's where we've got to get to, and they know that.
And how do you get that? How do you instill that in players?
Well, I think, you know, first of all, they've got to look at themselves, and you know, and then hold each other accountable to the standards that we've set. And today, you know, we didn't quite do that, and so, but we will get there, and they will get there. And as I said, you know, if I was stood here saying, well, we've had another 2-0 defeat here, but we're out with all the cups, and you know, then I guess things would be really dour. But that's not the case. And yeah, we've shown glimpses of what we're capable of. And I stand by that, and we can compete with anybody in this league, but we've got to show far more consistency if we want to climb this table, and we need that consistency as well if we're going to progress in the cup competitions, which we are more than capable of doing.
Matt, thanks for coming on board today.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers. All right, mate?
Yeah, thanks.
That's all right.